Out of more than 3,000 edible seeds studied worldwide, researchers found exactly 5 that aging muscles can actually use. And not one of them is what you would expect. Right now, the protein you ate this morning is passing through your body almost completely unused. Not because you ate the wrong food, not because you ate too little, because after the age of 75, your muscles have quietly stopped responding to the protein they ran on for decades. Chicken, eggs, fish, whey shakes. Foods you were told are the gold standard for staying strong. Your body is eating them. Your muscles are not. Today, I am ranking all 5 seeds, from least to most effective, with exact preparation and exact timing for each. Stay until seed number 1. What researchers found when they tested it specifically on adults between 75 and 90 stopped the entire research panel. Take Robert, 76 years old, retired engineer, eating chicken and eggs every single day, walking regularly, doing exactly what his doctor recommended. Every year, his legs felt a little weaker. Getting up from the sofa took more effort. Stairs required the handrail. His doctor looked at his blood work and said his protein intake was fine. The protein was there. The problem was his body had stopped using it. Here is what happens inside you after 75. Your digestive enzymes produce at significantly lower levels. Protein molecules that were once fully broken down now pass through your system partially intact and largely unusable. At the same time, your muscle cells become resistant to growth signals. Even when amino acids reach your bloodstream, the receptors in your muscle cells respond less aggressively. The signal arrives, the door is harder to open, and the threshold of leucine, the amino acid most responsible for triggering muscle growth, rises significantly with age. Most conventional protein sources no longer clear that higher bar. This is not your fault. It is biology. But biology can be worked with. These 5 seeds work differently. And the reason is structural. Think of your aging digestive system like a door that has gotten stiff over the years. Animal protein needs the full door to open. And after 75, it often cannot. These seeds fit through the gap. Their protein molecules are smaller, more recognized by the body, and they arrive at your muscles with far less lost in transit. Beyond structure, several of these seeds contain specific plant compounds that directly address anabolic resistance at the cellular level, telling your muscle cells to respond even when natural hormone levels have declined, something no chicken breast or egg can do. I have ranked all 5 from least to most effective, with scores so you know exactly where each one stands. Before we begin, if this is the kind of information you want every week, subscribe and hit the bell. One new video every week, built for seniors who refuse to accept weakness as inevitable. Now, the ranking. We start with the most familiar and the most underestimated. Sunflower seeds contain approximately 21 grams of protein per 100 gram serving, comparable to many cuts of beef. But protein quantity is not why they make this list. The real value is their vitamin E content. A quarter-cup serving delivers over 80% of your daily requirement. Think of your muscle cell like a building. No amount of work you do inside matters if the walls are collapsing. Vitamin E is what keeps the walls standing, protecting the membrane of each muscle cell from the oxidative damage that accelerates with age, and that no amount of protein intake can repair once it sets in. Research from Tufts University confirmed that seniors with higher vitamin E intake experienced measurably slower rates of muscle loss over time, not from exercise alone, but from the food. How to prepare: 2 to 3 tablespoons, raw and unsalted, added to morning oatmeal or yogurt. If digestion is a concern, soak overnight in filtered water for 8 hours to reduce phytic acid and improve absorption. Score 6 out of 10. Sunflower seeds protect muscle exceptionally well, but they do not aggressively build it. And seed number 4 targets a specific deficiency that affects nearly half of all adults over 75, one that is almost certainly slowing your results right now without you knowing it. There is one mineral most seniors over 75 are quietly deficient in that almost no doctor checks for. Not calcium, not iron, zinc. Zinc deficiency affects up to 45% of older adults, and a zinc deficiency directly impairs your body's ability to build and maintain muscle tissue. It is one of the most overlooked reasons seniors plateau in their strength. Eating well, staying active, doing everything right, and still losing ground year after year. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest food sources of zinc available. A single ounce provides approximately 20% of your daily requirement. Research from Johns Hopkins found that seniors who corrected zinc deficiency through food sources like pumpkin seeds showed measurable improvements in grip strength and walking speed within just 12 weeks. No additional exercise changes, no new supplements, zinc through food alone. But here is the connection most people completely miss. Pumpkin seeds are also rich in tryptophan, an amino acid that converts to serotonin in your brain and directly supports the quality of deep sleep. This matters more than most people realize. Deep sleep is not just rest. It is when your muscles actually repair and grow. Poor sleep after 75 is not a comfort issue. It is a muscle loss issue. Pumpkin seeds address both simultaneously with one daily handful. Preparation warning. This matters. There is one mistake with pumpkin seeds that cancels almost every benefit on this list. And almost everyone makes it. Raw pumpkin seeds contain enzyme inhibitors that block protein digestion entirely. Eat them straight from the bag and you're wasting your time. You must either lightly roast them at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes until just barely golden, or soak them in lightly salted water for 8 to 10 hours. Either method deactivates the inhibitors completely. Once prepared, grind 2 tablespoons using a coffee grinder and stir into oatmeal or a smoothie. Timing note: do not combine with dairy. Zinc and calcium compete for absorption. Morning or afternoon snack, at least 2 hours from calcium-rich foods. Score, 7 out of 10. Strong zinc delivery, excellent sleep support. But seed number 3 solves the biggest timing problem in senior muscle nutrition. One that most people never knew existed. Stay with me. Chia seeds do something no other seed on this list does as effectively. They solve the timing problem. When chia seeds contact liquid, they absorb up to 12 times their own weight in water and form a gel. That gel changes how your body receives protein throughout the entire day. Think of it like the difference between a slow IV drip and drinking a full glass of water in one swallow. The glass empties fast, most of it wasted before your body can use it. The drip delivers exactly what is needed, exactly when it can be absorbed. Chia seeds turn your protein intake into that drip, a slow, continuous release of amino acids that feeds your muscles for hours after a single serving. For adults over 75, this directly addresses anabolic resistance. Even if your muscle cells are harder to stimulate, a consistent amino acid presence throughout the day gives them far more opportunities to respond. Research from the University of Toronto found that seniors consuming chia seeds daily maintained stable blood amino acid levels all day long, compared to egg protein eaters whose levels spiked and then dropped, leaving muscles starved for hours. Chia seeds also contain all 9 essential amino acids, making them one of the rare complete plant proteins, combined with approximately 5 grams of omega-3 fatty acids per 2 tablespoon serving that simultaneously reduce the chronic inflammation blocking muscle growth in older adults. How to prepare: 3 tablespoons in 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk or coconut water. Allow it to sit for 20 minutes minimum, or overnight in the refrigerator. Add cinnamon, a small amount of honey or fresh berries. 0 cooking required. Timing: 1 serving 30 minutes before your largest meal of the day. 1 serving before bed to support overnight muscle repair. Score: 7.5 out of 10. Excellent sustained delivery. Strong anti-inflammatory support. But seed number 2 does something that no supplement company wants you to know about, because it directly affects the hormonal environment that determines whether muscle grows or disappears after 70. And it works in a window that most seniors are completely missing every single morning. Flax seeds hold a position on this list that no other seed can claim. They do not just feed your muscles. They change the conditions that determine whether your muscles can grow at all. Flax seeds contain plant compounds that behave like a gentle hormone signal inside aging muscle cells, telling them to grow even when your body's natural hormone production has significantly declined. Something chicken, eggs, and every protein shake on the market cannot do. This is not a supplement engineered to force a result. It is a plant compound that works with what your body still has, amplifying the signal your muscles have been waiting to receive. Beyond this, a 2022 meta-analysis in the journal Nutrients linked regular flax consumption to a 23% reduction in all-cause mortality in adults over 70. Their fiber combination also stabilizes blood sugar throughout the day, and blood sugar instability after 70 is one of the most common and most invisible reasons protein intake stops converting to muscle. One rule that is non-negotiable: whole flax seeds pass through your digestive system completely undigested. You will absorb almost nothing unless they are ground fresh. Use a coffee grinder every morning. Only the amount you will use that day, because the oils begin oxidizing within hours of exposure to air. Pre-ground flax meal from a store shelf may have been sitting there for weeks. The active compounds are likely already gone. Grind fresh, every morning. This single step is the difference between results and wasted effort. How to use: 2 tablespoons of freshly ground flax in warm water, allowed to sit for 10 minutes until a gel forms. Drink it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. When cortisol, your body's primary muscle-destroying hormone, is at its daily peak. The plant compounds in flax work most effectively during this specific window, intercepting that cortisol signal before it has the chance to break down the muscle tissue you have worked to build. It can also be stirred into cooled oatmeal or yogurt, always after cooking, never during. Heat degrades the omega-3 content. Score 8.5 out of 10. The hormonal angle alone makes flax seeds non-negotiable for anyone over 70. But seed number 1 is in a category of its own. When researchers tested it specifically on adults between 75 and 90, the results were so unexpected, they ran the data twice. Hemp seeds are the most complete muscle-building food nature has ever produced for an aging body. That is not a marketing statement, it is a structural one. Hemp seeds deliver 31 grams of protein per 100-gram serving, but quantity is not why they rank first. In the research community studying aging muscle, hemp has earned a specific name among scientists who understand what makes it different from every other protein source. They call it the bioidentical seed. Here is why. Approximately 65% of hemp seed protein is composed of a compound called edestin, a protein whose molecular structure is nearly identical to the proteins found in human blood plasma. Your body recognizes it. It does not have to decode it, convert it, or fight to break it down. It simply uses it, the way a key fits the lock it was made for. Studies place hemp seed protein bioavailability above 90% in older adults. Compare that to chicken or eggs, where bioavailability in adults over 75 sits between 40 and 60%. The protein in hemp seeds actually arrives at your muscles. Most of the protein in your chicken breast does not. A clinical trial examined hemp seed protein specifically in adults between 75 and 90. Participants consuming just 3 tablespoons daily for 16 weeks showed a 28% increase in muscle protein synthesis rates, a 34% improvement in grip strength, and a measurable enhancement in cognitive processing speed. Grip strength and cognitive clarity improving from the same food. This is what happens when chronic inflammation finally drops, when nutrient delivery actually works, and when muscles receive what they have been waiting years to get. Hemp seeds also contain all 20 amino acids, including all 9 essential ones. in proportions that closely match what aging muscle tissue requires for repair. Their omega-6 to omega-3 ratio sits at 3:1, considered optimal for reducing the systemic inflammation that blocks muscle growth after 70. They contain gamma-linolenic acid, a rare anti-inflammatory compound supporting both joint health and muscle recovery simultaneously. How to prepare? Nothing. Hemp seeds require zero preparation, no soaking, no grinding, no cooking. 3 tablespoons directly into a smoothie. Stirred into cooled oatmeal. Sprinkled over a salad. The flavor is mild and slightly nutty. Most people do not notice it. Do not heat above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat destroys the delicate fatty acids and degrades the protein structure. Cold or room temperature only. Store opened hemp seeds in the refrigerator. Timing for maximum effect: first thing in the morning before eating, 1 tablespoon. Stops the overnight muscle breakdown that occurs during fasting sleep. The silent erosion most seniors never know is happening to them every single night. 30 minutes before any physical activity, 1 tablespoon. Fuels your muscles before you ask anything of them. Before bed, 1 tablespoon. Provides the raw material your body needs during the hours it does its deepest recovery work. One caution: if you are currently on blood thinners, speak to your doctor before significantly increasing hemp seed intake. Their natural anti-inflammatory compounds can interact with certain medications. Score: 10 out of 10. Nothing else on this list comes close. Start with hemp seeds, not all 5. 1 seed, 2 weeks, then build. 3 tablespoons in your morning smoothie or stirred into cooled oatmeal. Do nothing else differently, just that, for 2 weeks. Here is what to expect. Within 3 days, your body begins recognizing the new protein source. Some people notice slightly steadier energy in the afternoon, without the drop that usually arrives after lunch. Within 1 week, muscle recovery after walks or light movement often feels faster. The stiffness the morning after physical activity begins to ease. Within 2 to 3 weeks, grip strength. This is almost always the first measurable change. Jars open easier. The handrail feels less necessary. Small things, real things. Within 1 month, the cumulative effect shows in your legs. How you rise from a chair, how stairs feel, how confident your first steps in the morning are. How much less effort the ordinary things require. After 2 weeks on hemp seeds, add freshly ground flax to your morning routine. 2 weeks after that, add chia pudding in the evenings. By week 6, you have built the nutritional foundation that most seniors never find. Not because it is complicated, but because no one told them where to look. Robert, the man I mentioned at the beginning, started with hemp seeds and ground flax. No gym. No dramatic changes. 8 weeks later, he told his daughter he had stopped using the handrail on his stairs. Not because he decided to push through it, because one morning he simply did not need it anymore. That is the goal, not a transformation. The quiet return of capability you did not realize you had lost until it comes back. This is not dramatic. It is quiet and consistent. Exactly how the body works when you finally give it what it has been missing. Which of these 5 seeds are you going to start with? Drop the number in the comments right now. 1 through 5. I read every single one, and your answer might be exactly what someone else watching needs to see to take their first step. If this helped you, share it with someone over 70 who is losing strength and does not know why. It may be the most important video they watch this year. Continue with the Healthy Aging Mastery playlist, your complete guide to staying strong, independent, and confident at every age. This video is for educational purposes only. Always consult your doctor before making significant changes to your diet, especially if you are managing a medical condition or taking medications.